Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, Nick Collier here, and today we've got a kind of a fun job. It is Saturday, so I get to play today. I don't know, for a long time I've been, building up a stock of worn out mill bits, right? So I thought, well, I've got this surface grinder. How can we set up something so that the surface grinder works? And we've got a pretty good sized rainstorm happening. That's the background noise you're hearing. So here's what I came up with. I purchased this on eBay. It was like 80 bucks or something like that. I think it's Indian. Not that well made, but it's one of those things where, kind of like IKEA, once you get it, you gotta build it. You gotta finish building it. So this little guy here holds, and we're gonna bring in a little closer. Anyhow, this little guy holds C5 collets up to 1 1/8 inches. And I have some mill bits that are 7/8. Actually, some that are bigger, but I can't use them, of course, because my mill only goes to 7/8. But, so we've got a 3/4 in here, and this is a 3/4 roughing mill. And the end is just, it's toast. But with just a little bit of sharpening, I think we've got something. So here's my plan. I came up with this piece of steel, and I just happened to have it laying around, which is great. So what I want to do is take this and rotate it back like that. And I want to get it all the way back to 90 degrees. So what we're going to have to do is make a platform that comes from here and to here and has a hinge right in this area here. So I certainly have enough material to do that. We'll be able to cut this kind of long in order to fit the slot, and then whatever we have left will come over here and it'll rotate back and forth, or up and down. Now I want this to go all the way to 90, so I'm seeing that this thing is pointless. I don't know why they made it this long, but they did, and and also this little stupid handle is about as useless as tits on a boar. So we're going to get rid of the handle. We're going to cut this down to about here, so this whole thing can rotate. Oh, remember, this is going to be up 2 layers, so it'll be up high enough that it'll rotate to a full 90, and then we'll come in and what are we going to do? We're going to cut it. We're going to put this piece in here. We're going to create a hinge and be able to walk this up and down and have a hinged bed for this thing. And the mill, or the grinder itself, has plenty of headroom. I mean, we've got about 10-12 inches that we can raise this whole thing up, so there's no problem there. And otherwise, it can go in and out. This is as far out as we can go, and we can take this in until we hit the grinder. So first thing we're going to do is, I'm going to do this part a little later, but right now I'm kind of excited about getting this part done. So first thing we got to do is take a measurement of this material and get ourselves a door or a platform to go on top of this. Okay, so this is how I see it. The bottom plate is going to be a just a plate, and it's going to have an L coming up here, the thickness of the plate, and then the top plate will slide into the L. We'll set some what do you call them, notches, so that everybody kind of pieces in together, drill a hole down the center of this, and then round off the upper part so that this can rotate without getting in the way of anything. So what we need is a piece of material I'd say 1 and maybe 1/8 as thick as this is. And then the rest of the material will be for, let's see, we'll need a 4-inch piece. And I'm thinking we could actually make it a 5-inch, maybe even a 6-inch piece without getting in the way of it. So let's make it a 6-inch piece. Oh, no, it's going to be longer. So more like 7 inches. Yeah. And then this is 1 inch thick. So we're going to have maybe 1 1/4 inches. That'll give us the height and then something to be able to trim off. And then the rest of it would be 7 inches. So it's going to be just about a perfect flat plate. All right, so let's cut it and then take it over on the table and square up the surfaces and get everything all set. Okay, while the cutting's going on over there, we're going to come in here and square off my table because I think it got knocked out the other day by when a bit grabbed. So we're just going to come in, square it up, make sure we're nice and square so that when we get ready to face this thing, it'll face off really nicely. We're going to take a parallel that I had reground I don't know, about a year ago to make sure that both surfaces were parallel so that I could do that. And I want to bring up can tell it's been a while since I've squared up the table. There we go. Now, I'm sure you've seen people square up their table before, but maybe you haven't seen this little guy right here, which is my version of a square. Basically, I just took a piece of channel, I welded it to a pin and welded this to a pin and hooked my indicator up to it. Now you can have really nice fancy double indicator ones that are just so cool looking, or you can have something like this that you made yourself for, I don't know, probably 15 bucks. Now of course this one you have to have a mirror to check out what that side says. And we gotta know where 1 or 0 is. And we gotta put our glasses on to do that. 0. Right. Yeah. Okay, we got our table squared up both ways, and now we're going to come in and square up the outside edges of each one of these. Okay, we got that one side done. We're going to flip it, and you can kind of see this is a little wobbly up here. So we're going to square that up too. We got a little whiner kitty down here. Let's put another pin on it. No, 25. All right, we got the two sides squared up. Now we're going to flip it 90 degrees and see if we can come in and square up the end. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Bring this all the way out to there. Okay, that's good. Now we'll be able to come in and side cut this on both sides, and then we'll be set to go. Well, set to go. We're gonna face all four faces, and then we're set to go. And all of that's gonna happen tomorrow on Sunday. Okay, it's the next morning. We've got the vise squared up and the piece back in, and we've got an extended roughing bit, and I think we're ready to rip. All right, I think we got it. Now we're going to put a finish bit in here and clean up that surface. right. Got a nice finished surface there. Now we flip this around and do the same thing. First we clean up our mess. So we couldn't get these two to match up enough to hang on to both of them. And when I put a clamp on the back side, it opened up this side. So what I'm going to do is go in and square this one up. I've got my stop back here, and then bring the other one in and take it to the stop. Okay, so we've got all four of our ends done, and now we want to come in and mill the face. And we're going to come in with my giant fly cutter to do that. I swear I use that thing about once a year, but when I need it, it's good to have. All right, let's bring this thing down. That's probably good for now. Let's see if we maybe can blow this thing off. Okay, and for some reason it doesn't have a bit, which is fine. That's interesting. Well, that's definitely too big of a hole. Maybe it's not. That's the one. Okay, we need to go find ourselves a bit, and we will be back.